Okay, in this video I'm going to go over a solution to the LeetCode problem 27, remove element. We are given an integer array nums and an integer val, and we need to remove all occurrences of val in nums in place. And the order of the elements may be changed. We then need to return the number of elements in nums which are not equal to val. We are also told to consider the number of elements in nums which are not equal to val to be k. And to get accepted, we need to do the following. We need to change the array nums so that the first k elements of nums contain the elements which are not equal to val, and we then need to return the value k. Our solution will be tested by making sure that the value we return is equal to the number of elements in nums that are not equal to val, and then it will sort those elements in nums and check that every element is equal to that in expected nums. So we want to build a solution that modifies nums in place. And the idea for this solution is that when we find an element in nums that is equal to val, we move it to the back part of the array nums. Like in this picture, when we find an element, so say val is 3 and this array is nums, we want to swap 3 to be in the back part of the array, starting at the last part. Then, when we find the next occurrence of 3 in the array, we want to swap it to the next available spot in the end of the array. And so we need two indices to visit elements in nums. One index to move in the forward direction and one to move in the back direction. So I'll start by saying int forward index is equal to 0, and then int backward index is equal to nums.length minus 1. So that we can then have a while loop and say while forward index is less than nums.length and forward index is less than or equal to backward index. So what the first condition of this loop makes sure that we do not visit an element that does not exist. By going over the number of elements in nums. And the second condition makes sure that we don't visit any elements in the array in the back part that are already filled with the values of val. So making sure that forward index is less than or equal to backward index means that we don't continue trying to visit elements that we know are the value val. So in our loop, there are two situations that can occur. Either we visit an element with the index forward index is the element val, or it's not. And so if nums forward index is equal to val, we need to swap nums forward index with nums backward index. So we can start by making a temporary variable, saying it equals nums forward index. Then we could say nums forward index is equal to nums backward index, and then nums backward index is equal to temp. And then if this if statement is entered, that means we swap any element that has a value val to the back part of the array. And since that spot in the back part of the array is taken up, we need to decrement backward index. Now, in the case that num's forward index does not equal val, that means that we have encountered an element in nums that is not equal to val, and so all we would need to do here is increment forward index. So once this loop terminates, since we only increment forward index when we find an element in nums that is not equal to val, that means forward index will hold the number of elements in nums that aren't equal to val. And so all we need to do is return forward index. This should work. So the solution does pretty well in runtime and does okay in memory. Thank you.